Licensing and Regulatory Affairs. How may I direct your call?
Yeah, hi, I'm trying to get information on how to get a license.
What type of license?
State operating license.
State operating license? What do you mean by state operating license?
State operating license to be a grower, I guess, for marijuana.
Oh, the new legislation? One moment, please.
Or questions about their insurance, bank, credit union, or mortgage services are encouraged.
Hi, this is Colleen.
Hi, Colleen. I can barely hear you.
Okay, sorry. Is that better?
Oh, that's way better. Yeah, I just found out there was some new legislation passed on December 20th, 2016 that makes me a criminal. And I'm kind of freaked out.
Which bills are you talking about?
Well, I don't know. I grow marijuana for qualified registered patients here in the state of Michigan. And apparently, the police in Michigan believe that I'm supposed to have a grower's license.
Well, there's two separate laws. The patient and caregiver law wasn't rescinded, so that exists alongside the new legislation that they might be referring to. And the state hasn't issued any licenses under the new program. The department will be taking applications in December of this year, 2017.
Okay, so is anybody from your office contacting county sheriff's departments throughout Michigan to let them know that there aren't licenses for what we do?
I wasn't aware this was happening.
It sure is. We're all being converted into felons because the cops out there believe that, to be a grower, you have to have a license under the Marijuana Facilities Act. And you guys don't even have them available until December, right?
Right. I don't know what's going on with your situation, but you still have to be a caregiver or a patient.
Oh, I am.
Okay.
I am a caregiver,
yeah.
and the police are saying that, provisioning centers need to be licensed by the state and growers need to be licensed by the state. And if we're not, we're being found to be in noncompliance with the Michigan Marijuana Facilities Act, MCL 333.27102, and we're being found guilty of being felons for growing and harvesting and selling medical marijuana to Michigan patients that are also registered with the state as qualified registered patients. And I want to know what LARA is doing to help protect us. I mean, I have a card from you. I am a caregiver, and I have patients. But the police are saying that we're not conforming to the Medical Marijuana Facilities Act, therefore that we don't even get the protections under the Act for doing what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if you're following the voter initiative law, apparently how it's written, then you should have those protections. You don't have to worry about protections under the new act because it hasn't really even started yet. It's effective, but it's all based on the immunities in that act are based on whether you're a licensed facility. So
a licensed facility,
right?
You just said the same thing the police are saying. We have protections under the act if we're a licensed facility, and then there is no ability for us to become a licensed facility.
Right, that's true. And but you still have your immunities under the Caregiver Act. So
well, what immunities do I have from the police raiding my house and stealing everything that I own?
Yeah, the department really can't give legal advice. I'm sorry. I think you should probably get legal advice because I think it's
From who?
I don't from an attorney, because I don't know what your notice said. The department can't give legal advice because
Well, I don't think you
not
can
what we
pawn
are.
this off on the people to come up with a solution through a freaking lawyer when.
Well, I'll take that into consideration, and I'll mention that and take down your number and stuff. But I mean, the department registers caregivers and patients. That's all the department does. It doesn't issue them licenses, and it's getting ready to do the commercial licensing program. And not sure why the sheriffs have done that.
Well, they're doing it so they can raid and loot our inventory and ruin our crops and kill our businesses. That's why they're doing it.
Which county is it?
Oakland County.
Oh, okay, Oakland County. Somebody. Okay, who's that sheriff? You mean like Bouchard or something? Okay.
Yeah, he needs a phone call from your office saying lay off.
Yeah.
Because here he's saying that we're non-conforming to the Medical Marijuana Facilities Licensing Act that Michigan doesn't even have provisions to license us yet until December. But because he's saying that we're not in compliance with this Medical Marijuana Facilities Licensing Act, that we're losing the protections from the act itself.
Have you, by any chance, called the Michigan Attorney General yet?
Well, Bill Schuette? He's in on this.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. Well, what do you
he's
want
a bigger criminal than the cops.
I'm just trying to help. I don't. Did you want to leave your number or?
Can you guys generate a letter with your letterhead, the Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, to the individual? It's only 83 people. 83 counties in Michigan need to hear from you to let them know. You need to let the sheriff know that they can't find us in noncompliance with the Medical Marijuana Facilities Licensing Act when Michigan isn't even equipped to issue a license for these things, and that caregivers and patients are protected under the Medical Marijuana Act as it stands, without any special licensing that doesn't even exist. Well, we're being converted into felons out here trying to help patients that need medical marijuana.
Okay.
I mean, that needs to be generated from your office, because my ability to grow and cultivate marijuana for my patients is being threatened by county sheriffs.
Okay. I will mention this to my boss, so they're aware of this. It's not my decision whether or not they can have the authority to send a letter. They probably have to go up the pipeline to the governor or something. But, like I said, it's good to know. I didn't know this was going on. And as far as your situation, the notice and the search and all that, I would probably contact an attorney just to give you basic advice on that part of it.
Well, I don't trust attorneys.
Yeah, I understand that, but if you have some type of letter that you have to answer, like especially if it has anything to do with a felony.
Well, these are felony crimes.
Right.
We're being cornered.
Right. I would also suggest, have you reached out to any of the organizations that might know about this? They might have attorneys on staff that could talk to you without you having to hire an attorney, like the National Patients' Rights Association, or I'm just giving you ideas because
I'm in contact with the Michigan Justice League.
Okay, maybe them, yeah.
And this is an entrapment scheme created by the state to make felons out of citizens.
Well, it sounds like by the county, and they'll, probably someone will try to stop it. But the attorneys for those organizations need to know about it, so they can.
Well, the Michigan Justice League is Michigan's first non-lawyer law firm that actually works for the people.
Okay. Yeah, I would call them. I'm sorry, this is like it's a department, and like I said, I'll definitely mention it, but I don't, it's not my call whether or not they have the authority to send any type of letter, but it would probably have to go up the chain, so.
Well, maybe I should just start at the top of the chain. You have to understand my family life, my liberty, my freedom is being threatened here with this craziness being propagated by sheriff's departments because they don't understand the law because it's so ambiguous. It's completely arbitrary and capricious.
The only way to stop the way they're doing this is in court, probably.
No, actually, the only way to stop it is to keep cops off your property at gunpoint. I mean, seriously, we're supposed to resolve this in court after our family lives are destroyed, our products are ruined, and our patients are left hung out to dry because the Medical Marijuana Facilities Licensing Act, which will take place through Michigan's Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, right?
Right.
You guys won't even be equipped to help us out with the appropriate licenses for the rest of the year. That leaves this whole year for people like myself that are not criminals. We have no intent to commit any criminal crimes. We're being left hung out to dry because of the arbitrary and capricious nature of Michigan's laws.
Sounds like a good legal argument.
Well, you have to understand the legal argument only happens when we're completely and utterly destroyed by the state.
This is the county sheriff. This isn't the state taking any action.
This is every county sheriff. There's 83 of them in Michigan.
Right, and to some degree they have their own programs, and they are the ones that sent the notice. If you had gotten a notice from this department or something like that, then that would be different. But I know what you're saying, and I'll definitely run it up the chain, and feel free to contact me again if you want my contact information.
Sure. What was your name again?
It's Colleen.
Colleen, you've been very helpful, Colleen. My name's Ted Visner, and I'm with the Michigan Justice League.
Oh, you are? Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, well, something needs to be done, and I can't really believe that LARA would dodge behind the chain of command when it comes to just issuing a simple notice to the sheriff's departments in all Michigan.
I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying I can't say whether or not they will. I have to present it to a boss. But I do know that my guess is some of the things that are going to be said to me are, it's a county. The county needs to, the county needs someone needs to stop the county, and whether or not the state steps in or which department's job is that. I know you laughed, but it might be the AG. So,
well,
anyway.
The AG, the Attorney General, is issuing orders to the Michigan State Police Crime Lab to call every sample of marijuana potentially synthetic to upgrade charges from misdemeanor to felony.
Yeah.
And this is the guy that's going to help us with the arbitrary and capricious laws in the state of Michigan?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that, but you know what I mean about the chain of command kind of a deal, yeah. What is your number? My number is 989-954-2814. 2814. Okay. Yeah, I would.
Well, to the extent this involves you, being LARA, this new Medical Marijuana Facilities Licensing Act has something in the definitions that definitely applies to you and how and why you should be involved with this. Because let me just read it here quick. Obviously, the state operating license, which specifies that a grower, a processor, a transporter, and a provisioning center must have a license, a state operating license, and that's what they're getting us with. But there's another one here in what is a Michigan medical marijuana facility. The definition for a marijuana facility means a location at which a license holder is licensed to operate under this act. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let me read it again.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so marijuana facility means a location at which a license holder is licensed to operate under this act. Michigan is a medical marijuana facility. According to this definition, assisting qualified registered patients in the use of medical marijuana for compensation is not restricted to any specific location other than the borders of Michigan itself.
Okay.
So LARA needs to be involved here with communicating with county prosecutors and county sheriff's departments and even down to city and township police and police chiefs, because they're using the ambiguity that exists in the Michigan Medical Marijuana Act to make felons of everyday people that are not criminals.
Yeah. Shoot.
If your chain of command has any questions, please forward them my number.
Okay. Now, you said your name is Vic, or was it? Okay.
My name's Ted Visner.
Ted Visner. Sorry, I was like writing it down when you were saying it. Okay, Visner.
V-I-S-N-E-R.
Okay. V-I-S-N-E-R. And it's 989-954-2814.
That is correct.
Okay. Okay, like I said, I will mention this to my boss.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
Okay. Have a good day.
You too. Thanks. Bye.
When everything is broken.